I'm Samima and welcome to the Real Talk Around a Table. Now we are continuing our series of specials where we are looking back at some of the most memorable moments across both Real Talk shows. Today I'll be focusing on shows that touched on something to do with the law. Either somebody was a victim of crime, either they were a victim of the law, just to find out what you and I perhaps need to remind ourselves from the shows that we've touched on in 2019. So the first show that I touched on, and literally this was the beginning of the new season this year, was the I Was Conned show. My guests were sharing with me experiences whereby they had been conned. I had with me on the show Peter Murithi, who was conned by his very own wife. Take a look.
So I waited for another man.
Lying to you, knowing very well, all those 1, 2, 3, 4 times you're sending her the different amounts, 100,000 here, another 100 there, hapeleki. Ukiulizia anakuambia, usijali. Pesa iko pale.
Pesa iko. Actually, that's what she used to tell me. Oh, don't worry, the money is there. And who was I to worry by then? Because
that's your wife.
That's my wife. And by that time, because she knew what had happened, she decided to be a little bit hostile. And I sense there's something here that is not right.
Do you think that you can ever trust a woman, a wife, again to that extent?
You cannot put a blanket condemnation on all women, because not all women are like that. And as a man, you really have to gather yourself together, put yourself together, and even moving on has been very difficult for me. It's been like 4 years since this happened.
I'm interested in buying a car, and I'd like to promote a brother within this fellowship. So I got like 3 or 4 offers of I can refer you here, I can refer you here. But I chose to go with the leadership of that fellowship, one of the leaders. So I told him, you refer me to someone because you are. I was willing even right there to transfer the money without any contract, you know, that kind of trust.
Because you trusted them?
Yes. So then this leader of the fellowship told me, no, Linda, do not do it that way. Let's meet somewhere, probably on Monday or Tuesday, so that you do things properly, so that there's a contract or something for purchase.
Which even for you, it's music to your ears, because you're probably thinking, oh my God, these people are so nice.
Yes.
Very trustworthy.
Yes. So we met on a Tuesday in Westlands, and he came with the drafted contract. I went through it, I was okay with it. And then we entered a deal. Ask that guy who was doing import to at least show you papers. There were no papers. So my brother said, as hard as you may find this, you have been conned.
How did that make you feel?
I cried.
650,000 Kenya shillings.
So joining me on the round table right now with me, I have Eliud Ngugi, who is an advocate of the High Court. Welcome to the round table, Eliud.
Thank you.
I also have with me Nancy Kabiri, who is a psychologist. So they'll just be helping us along with some of the topics that we'll be discussing, letting us know which tips perhaps we need to use more often. So in the context of getting conned, everybody has been conned. I've been conned countless times, more times than I care to admit. Have you been conned?
Yes, I have.
Have you been conned?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so there we have, and you know, doing that show, it was very interesting because the audience also had a lot of experiences to share when it came to getting conned. Take a look.
Sasa si nikaingia kwa gari, juu washaniambia ni punch. Na boycha ni punch ni do mingi. Nikaenda, wakafika hapo Jericho akaniambia ndio confirm kama umeweka viti ndani. Kumbe wasio walikuwa na haja na Infinix kangu. Wasio walikuwa wamevaa suti, hata ungeamini wanaweza kwa maconman, na sasa unajua ananiona. Simba.
Mungu anawaona.
Mungu anaona.
Alafu wewe ndio uende. Nikasema ni sawa tu, tukaenda tukajificha mahali. So akanitolea hizo cards 3. And he's like, zieke ndani ya bag. Ndio upande nazo huko juu. I'm like, why? So akalenga meanwhile akasema anyway, sasa ndio nibaki na kitu yenye nitakuaminia. At least nipatie phone yako ama ID ama some cash ndio nikuamini. Nikachora hapo nikaanza kufikiria. But mimi ni nani? 20k ni pesa mingi bana. So I gave him my phone and it was worth 15k. So mimi nikapanda juu, but niko na ile manze ujamaa atahepa na simu. I'm like manze ujamaa ni mzee hawezi. So I went kufika huko juu. Naambia shika, nimeangukia. umeangukia nini? Like sini 20k. No, like this is fraud. Hii imestikiwa hapa hivi na akaitoanisha. And I was like, nimeisha.
Simu imeenda hivyo.
So phone ilienda hivyo and mpaka leo sijaimsikia. But the following day nilimsikia bado alikon to dem fulani tu hapo.
So Eliud, and you are in this show as well.
Yes.
So when it comes to getting conned, obviously there's the psychological, and sometimes, and this happened to me recently, it's not really a con whereby I was purchasing something, and then literally after I had paid, and I dropped WhatsApp to my friend, oh my God, I just bought this, I'm so excited. She sends me back a message of the same item at a different shop, and it was literally almost 20,000 shillings cheaper. It wasn't really a professional con, but I felt conned.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, like psychologically, it took me like a whole day just to accept this item that I had bought. And I'm like, But now I'm good with my item, I'm past it.
Yes.
But now when it comes to the psychological nature,
Yes.
once somebody has gotten conned, how do you reconcile and just get past it?
Consider it a loss. Of course, you will have to go through the grief cycle because it is a loss. Allow yourself to accept it. Allow yourself to go through the emotions, the feeling. Don't over-obsess through the situation. Then let your heart heal. If it is an item that is physical to you, and you, like you in your case, where you are able to see what you purchased at a higher price than your friend, you know, maybe the quality is a bit different.
You know, talking
maybe
about it still hurts.
the built-in quality is a bit different. Consider that the salesperson is not the same
Exactly.
to you.
Yeah.
So that one you can quickly understand and, you know, also try and justify in terms of maybe the rent or where you bought it. But if it is something that is not tangible to you and you've actually lost it, allow your heart to go through it. Allow yourself to go through the grieving process. It is a loss, and accept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happens when the person who's conning you is someone who is very personal to you, a spouse, a parent, a sibling?
It will form an opinion, definitely. You will look at them differently. And that's who they are, you know. They get by probably by lying or deceiving people. Now, try and disassociate from them because if you keep tagging them along, they obviously know what your weakness is, and they'll be able to drain you from that point. So you get to put boundaries on people, and, you know, choose who your friends will be, who you will associate with. Yeah.
And Eliud, now there is the legal aspect to this.
Yes.
Because sometimes the nature of the con actually now takes on a criminal nature. It's one thing to walk into a store, buy something at a higher price than what it's going for at the next store. That's legal. Yeah. Personally, you'll feel some type of way. But then there's the other types of cons whereby you have institutions, individuals going out of their way to actually come up with criminal ways to con people out of money, out of goods, out of services.
Well, where the con comes from an institution, for example, what is required is that we need to ensure that we file a class action. This is where you look for other similar guys who have gone through the same issue or con, who are also victim, and actually now with that make a complaint to the police. The police are able to now do the investigations, and in the investigations, and we are able to now proceed to the next level, which is the court.
And in the context of investigations, because when everyone we talked to, from Peter to Linda, everyone in the audience, when we were doing this topic, one thing came out very clear and loudly: you need to keep records. I have a friend who does this, and I don't get it. Like, it's very weird. You could literally go out for coffee, and he'll keep the receipts. And you're like, it's just coffee. Why are you keeping the receipt? It's like, you never know when I may need to defend myself about my whereabouts. So, like, this person has a habit of being very organized with any purchases that they make, any deals that they get into. And we may laugh in that context, but then it does become important, especially when you're moving large sums of money. Yeah.
So in that scenario kind of a thing, when you have a situation whereby the person who was conning you had corresponded with you, for example, the special SMSs that we get telling you that send me this amount of money, and you have a record somewhere, this is quite important because it helps improving the crime that has already taken place. For example, if somebody called me on a purchase of land, for example, or a car, like in that show, I think someone was called of a car.
Yeah.
And there were agreements. And this is why, again, it's important to actually enter into written agreements with anyone you're buying something from. Then that will be important for you to provide or to actually restrict yourself to actually ensuring that it's not just a verbal conversation.
So basically protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
You know, have all the necessary record keeping, have all the necessary agreements. Verbal agreements cannot stand in court.
Yes.
Because there is no evidence.
It becomes very hard. They do stand, but then it becomes very hard because then we'll be required to request that you bring along witnesses. And
what if
for
there
you,
were no witnesses? It was just me and you.
then it becomes very hard
To
for you
prove
to
it,
prove it. Yes.
exactly.
Yes, but when you have a document, for example, an SMS, you have an email, you actually entered into an agreement and they promised to deliver this on this day at this place and they didn't do it, then they disappeared with your money, then it becomes easier for you to actually prove that they have actually committed that crime.
You know, just to wrap this up, because we all know how hard it is to earn money, like literally everybody is struggling right now. So you want to make sure that you're taking all the necessary steps to protect your money. Do not be a victim. You know, we are living in a country whereby not everybody you meet is as innocent or as honest as they may come across to be. So just stay vigilant, because at the end of the day, trust me, there's nothing as painful as being out of money that you worked so hard to get. And then within seconds, it's gone. And then you have to follow up with the legal process, which can be a lot of drama. So basically just stay informed and stay educated.